What it do, chat? Welcome to today's episode. It's your boy Chi from the Chi Challenge, and today's the first day that we're gonna do this. We are dropping episode 47 before episode 46. Episode 46 will be later on tonight at 8 p.m. Episode 47 is dropping right now because I wanted to watch this video right here about 100 things only Fortnite OG remembers. And I feel like I'm an OG Fortnite player. Maybe I wasn't good at the time, but I am an OG Fortnite player. So there's a few things here I want to, I think I remember. I think I remember. I think I remember. You know what I mean? Yeah, my hair look like shit, chat, so I'm putting this on. We are enjoying a nice chicken Caesar salad from whatchamacallit? Hold up. I am burning up. Oh, fuck. I'm on fire. We're enjoying a chicken Caesar salad from Snack Station. I just feel that I've been eating too much. I've been drinking too many painkillers. Right? Legend agrees with me. I've been drinking too many painkillers. And it's probably gonna upset my stomach somehow. So I gotta eat salads. Let's get right into it.
It has been over 1,500 days since Fortnite Chapter 1 ended, but all of the items, weapons, and features haven't been forgotten. So here are 100 things only OGs remember, which brings us back to 2018 when Fortnite dropped the rock, paper, scissors emote. For only 200 V-Bucks, you could go up to a friend and actually play the game. Nowadays, we have synced emotes for this purpose, but back in the day, this didn't exist, so you had to both own it and time it perfectly. Another unique cosmetic was the golf ball, and if you went to Lazy Links, you could really play and get a hole-in-one. Anyone who uses the snap emote will know this is a Marvel Icon series. But what if I tell you it wasn't always like this? When it
chat, if you remember this, put it in the chat, put it in the comment box. This is
they added an
OG
Easter egg
shit
with
right.
Thanos. Fast forward a couple years, and they even changed this to Marvel, making it the only original cosmetic to be converted. One of the most frustrating things was how you couldn't build in a huge POI. Blue Lake was near the center of the map, so you always came to this and were blocked from building. You had to place a floor before the water and then build a bridge to get across. So another player could easily snipe you out and you'd be a sitting duck. Something you probably don't remember is the power-up LTM. It was only available during 14 days of summer and removed the shield cap, so you could sit around for a whole game building thousands of shield. But even in normal BR, these pots used to be different. During Chapter 1, we could run around with up to 5 big shields, and minis had a limit of 10. That's not all. Nowadays, we know them as blue shields and green med kits, but they used to be gray rarity for the longest time. Which makes sense, you can find these everywhere, so they weren't exactly rare. Now everyone knows about the meteor event in Season 4. While you might think it was just a comet in the sky and a cutscene in the trailer, there was more to this than you'll remember. For the last week, real meteors would fall down from the sky and crash into players.
Oh, yeah,
I
I
always get
remember
a ton of nostalgia when I see what the storm used to look like. You don't realize how different it is now until you look at the old hexagon design, and man, I miss this a lot. Another forgotten LTM is Storm Chasers Surfin'. At the start of the game, everyone got surfboards and could drive around with impulse grenades, trying to throw other players in the storm, and why don't they make fun modes like this anymore? We all remember the default skins, they were our first outfits, and there was just something about them that gives you a wave of nostalgia. Maybe be it's these health monitors on the wrist. Most people didn't pay attention to these, but they would show a heartbeat detector and every default had one. Something else you won't see in 2023 are animated loading screens. Yeah, these exist and there are only 2 in existence. Back in Chapter 1, Lynx and Hybrid got unique loading screens that were fully animated and you could only get them in a battle pass. So if you have these in your locker, don't overlook their rarity. I also love Retail Row's Forgotten Easter egg. For a short time, there was a huge big mouth Billy Bass on a wall, and if you emoted while looking at it, you would start to dance. A total disaster is when they added account merging. With the release of crossplay, Epic allowed you to merge your Xbox or Switch account with the PS4 one, which would allow you to transfer V-Bucks and cosmetic items into one login. Great idea on paper, but it caused so many people to abuse it and get banned. Everyone's heard about the Galaxy and Iconic skins, which were exclusive to Samsung phones, but nobody paid attention to an obscure collab, the Honor Guard. If you own the View 20, you could log into
Chat, if you abused things like this when it was available, you were wildin', chat. Now you banned for the best part of Fortnite. Fortnite is fucking insane now.
Fortnite and earn this guy for free. And if you had an Honor 20, you get Wonder. One of the strangest features Epic has ever added totally backfired on them. For a couple days, if you got a friend request, a random woman would tell you in-game. If you're a big streamer, this was a nightmare.
Aw, you've got a friend request incoming. Someone wants to be friends.
Why would they add
That is
something
annoying.
like that? Why?
Yeah, by the way, you couldn't turn it off.
Yes, Epic, this was a great idea.
And you couldn't turn it off?
Another huge
That's
mistake was when
fucked
they
up.
had no cap on ammo. This included rockets,
Oh my
so you
God.
could walk into a match, collect a
would've had
whole
number one
inventory of
all the time.
RPGs, and just destroy people with hundreds of rockets. Something we take for granted in Chapter 4 is the ability to swim. This never existed back in the day, so if you fell off the map, you're going straight back to the lobby. It also made getting chests like this one 10 times riskier.
Hell no. Back to the lobby.
I use PayPal to buy this ticket. I'm paying it off
That's
every
a
time.
ball
No
out.
fees, no interest.
You know what else has no interest? Me.
You can pay your own way.
Excuse me, sir?
Yeah.
The captain needs you back in the cockpit.
Oh, yeah.
One of the
is
coolest
the
items
captain.
Fortnite has ever added was only available in the Bodyguard LTM. This is the Revive Grenade, and it does exactly what you'd expect, throwing this
A
at any
Revive
teammate to
grenade?
instantly pick
You
them
need to
up from
bring
a
that back.
distance. You probably didn't notice that they got rid of an incredible feature though. In Chapter 1, when you viewed the map, it showed these lines and grid coordinates for each section. You could use this to tell your teammates
need that.
exactly where to drop.
need that.
Nowadays, you have to use a compass or say it's north of a POI, which makes things way more confusing. I actually want this feature back. In fact, you can't even use a compass anymore. They also had an icon for north, east, southwest around the minimap,
happened
but
to
I
that?
understand why they got rid of this one because it was kind of pointless.
That's
Did you know that we never used to have back blings? In the super early days, you couldn't take them off your skin. They were fused with it like a blue squire. There was another hilarious feature during Season X which caused hundreds of pro players to rage quit. One of the rift zones at Greasy Grove was called Taco Time, and it would make everyone dance.
All right, boys.
A few moments later.
Everybody loves the feeling of sending gifts to a friend. It makes it
Taco
feel
time.
good. But this experience used to be even more personal in Chapter 2, as you could attach a written message with your gift. I don't know why they removed this, but I do know why Epic got rid of transparent edits. Back in the day, when you edited your build, it would be completely see-through on removed areas. So you could hide in a box and just use an edit to peek through a makeshift window. This was insanely overpowered. Kind of like the guided missile launcher, a classic weapon that basically handed you free kills. This was so easy to use. You
They brought
fired a
that back.
rocket in the air and controlled it until you landed
That
on an
is
enemy.
back right
This came
now.
back in
That
2023.
is right
People would
now
probably
in
crank
Fortnite.
90s and block it, but back then it was so easy to wipe players out. It was
Well, now
also
I know.
extremely easy to use the vending machines. Right now, you gotta fork out gold to afford anything, and they're usually not worth it. But in Chapter 1, these would cycle through weapons and allow you to buy them with materials. Everyone saw an item they wanted and immediately went grinding for the right amount of wood or stone to get it. It was awesome. So was the hidden Easter egg near Lazy Lake. In the ground, you could find a small mine with a chest inside, but only after you looked at this POI from a top-down view, you would realize it was a fork knife. Now, one of the first pay-to-win skins ever released were the Green Army Men. It was meant to be a throwback to toy soldiers, except Epic never accounted for the green color. Now people are buying this and hiding in areas where they would be camouflage. With updates, Fortnite had to change it and completely nerf the strategy.
Oh, God.
You've definitely heard of Salty Springs, but at the start of Chapter 1, we never knew its name. This place
Word?
wasn't called anything for a couple of months, despite being a huge POI. It's like they forgot
Oh,
to come
gee.
up with the name. Once everyone started landing here and rage quitting, they decided to call it Salty Springs. Springs.
That's why it's called
POI was
Salty
Greasy
Springs?
Grove, but halfway through the chapter, they removed this place and we all wanted it back. That's until players found it frozen underneath the ice at Polar Peak. You couldn't really explore it, but there was an even crazier mystery. A 100% guaranteed chest, completely impossible to reach. Everyone was trying to break through the ice to no avail until one day a method came out that let you grab the loot by breaking the floor onto a ramp. During Season X, something strange happened. All of a sudden, glitched items were appearing around the map. It looked like crystals from afar, but once you got close enough, they would turn into a random consumable like vegetables or fruits. Nobody really talked about these, and we kind of forgot about them over the years. It's still not as random as the giant toy duck in Season 9.
Yeah,
under
I
the
remember
slipstreams
that.
in the river, this guy was just chilling. It was a part of the summer update, but I would love to see him on the map permanently. Now imagine what the game would be today without turbo building. Well, we have a glimpse because it wasn't always in Fortnite. Before patch 3.0, there was no turbo building. You had to click for every single piece. So if you feel nostalgic about how easy things used to be, it's probably because you didn't have pro players cranking 90s in a second. A strat we all used to love was the combination of the shopping carts and a minigun. If you needed to get
Never got
somewhere
to
but
do it.
didn't want to drag it around, you could just sit on top and fire at the ground, sending you flying in the opposite direction. While exploring, you might have come across a piano in the middle of nowhere. You could actually jump on these and play the right notes, but this is also part of a challenge. People were landing here trying to get their XP, only for other players to jump on the notes and completely ruin the challenge for them. The griefing was off the charts. You definitely were not an OG if you don't remember the old traps. Sure, we had the classics like the spike trap.
remember the spike
Others
trap.
were extremely short-lived, like the directional jump pad, a classic trick-shotting item that people would love to see back. Not to mention traps from Save the World that were brought into BR, like the ceiling zapper and the wall dynamo. Now look, I've been playing since literally day one, but even I forgot about the original inventory design. Feels like it's been the same ever since Fortnite release, but that's not exactly true. For the first couple of weeks, the game looked like this. The inventory was so rushed, they just made the grenade icon a white PNG. One of the rarest skins of all time will never release again, thanks to the Twitch Prime pack from 2018. If you link your Twitch Prime to Epic, you can earn the Havoc outfit and Sub Commander for free. They're only available for a couple of weeks and vanish forever. To this day, they are some of the most sought after outfits of all time. And don't forget about turbo farming. This was a very niche trick in Chapter 1 that let you farm materials super fast, whether you were spam crouching or jumping with an emoticon, and allowed you to hit the weak points at double the speed. Creators like Tfue, they knew what they were doing. Something you didn't realize was missing is the infamous cartoon trail. You used to have smoke following you while running around, and I forgot about this, but it totally contributed to the nostalgia of Chapter 1. And so did Westworld. That was the community's name for this western town in the desert, but one building was more unique than the rest. For some reason, chairs started to pile up in this place until eventually there was no room left. And of course, there's even a fort fight here to introduce the house to players. Now that was an unknown POI, but a more popular drop spot was the prison. A lot of you definitely remember this. It was an unnamed location, yet everyone loved to land here, including me. It was huge with a ton of rooms and chests, but as Chapter 1 went on, it eventually got destroyed and left in ruin. Over in Chapter 2, you might have forgotten about the Marvel season's most
remember this.
underrated feature. Around the map, Galactus Gorges were attacking people, but you could fight them, and this is where things got interesting. After being disabled, these Gorges could be picked up and used in battle as a weapon. And you are definitely a veteran player if you remember Starry Suburbs. I'm not talking about the version from Season X, where we had loot stars and an insane gold tack SMG. Starry's actually much older than that. It first appeared in Season 2 as an unnamed location, and no one ever really talks about the original, but it was a great place to land. And honestly, I gotta bring up Fortnite's craziest throwable. Back then, all we had were items like the Porta Fort. I mean, yeah, these were cool, but it only threw down a tower. Pretty
shit.
simple. That's until Playground Mode came along, handing us the Spiky Stadium. It spawned a massive arena that was literally the size of a POI, and I have no idea how we didn't crash the servers all the time. Unlike the item that totally broke Fortnite. Smoke grenades were only in for a couple of weeks, and the damage they left is unforgettable. As you'd expect, they made a huge cloud of smoke, which
What
is
do
a
you
cool
say,
idea,
Chad?
but
You
it
remember
lagged
none
the
of
game
this shit?
so
You
bad.
remember
Epic
any of
had
this
to
shit?
remove
Put it
this
in
due to
the
the
chat box,
backlash, although
man.
I hope we get it back in Zero Build one day.
This is
One of the
nostalgia.
earliest rifts in Fortnite was hidden in a basement underneath Wailing Woods. Not many people landed here, and when they did, they were in for a massive surprise. It led to an entire underground complex
Is
full of
that my
scientific
wife?
equipment, but more
Who?
importantly, rifts to other locations.
Who,
And I
Samson?
don't know if it's just me, but I seriously didn't notice a change to balloons. You would have thought they stayed the same after all these years, until you look back at
Who
old
is-
footage and realize
who
they're
asking
holding it
about?
above their head. This blocked you from using guns. It's super different from the version we have now. One of the cutest POIs we have ever had were these builds spread throughout the island. You'd land here and be able to edit them and customize it, but look from afar, and these aren't random random builds. They were all in the shape of an animal, whether it's a fox or a llama. They didn't serve much purpose except for looking adorable. Something that worked a little too well is the Boogie Bomb. This quickly rose to fame as the most annoying Fortnite item of all time because
Word.
of one reason.
I
Once
used
brought
to love
down,
that.
this would kill an enemy for 10 seconds, even if you were shooting them. Nowadays, it cancels the animation once they get damaged, but back then, it was unstoppable. Almost as annoying as grenades and rockets. For just a few days, Epic changed explosives to penetrate structures. This meant you could fire a rocket next to a build, and it would explode outside the box, but still damage enemies. It was such a controversial change that they even had to ask players on Reddit if they should remove it or not. The answer, overwhelmingly,
You guys are still gonna
yes.
hear me 'cause I
There
don't
is a
want-
feature I can't explain though, and it's the secret name of Coral Castle. Yeah, I know everyone hates this place, but when it first got added, it wasn't even called that. For some reason, people loaded in, looked at the map, and were introduced to Coral. Around the same time, we had Coral Buddies on the island. They were adorable, a part of a special challenge that let you
yes,
use
little
materials
boy.
to
Yes,
evolve their
little boy.
society.
Yes,
This
little
upgraded
boy.
them all the way from the Stone
You
Age
gotta
to a
eat
modern day
chicken
city. Eventually, they developed a nuclear weapons program to try and defend themselves from outsiders, only for it
Oh,
to
man.
literally blow up in their face.
Sergeant, you cannot help any.
From Coral Buddies messing up, the Epic's
Stupid.
huge mistake.
I already
Shadow
gave you what I was
Storm's
gonna give you. There's no
problem in
more.
Season 6. You can use a glitch
I'm not
to turn
gonna lie to
completely
you.
invisible, ruining
no
lobbies
more,
for
finish.
everyone. A fun fact that even OG players don't know about is the
Finish,
original
little boy.
name for V-Bucks. Ever since day one, they've been called this. But during development, they were actually going to
Everything is
call
your
them
favorite.
Battle Bucks.
That's what you need
Speaking
to
of old
do. Chicken.
discoveries, one of the
Your
first
chicken.
gliders in Fortnite was hidden
Well,
in the
having your
season
chicken.
shop. You had to get to level 25 just to have the chance to buy this thing.
smells
It
good.
was supposed to be exclusive to
smells
the
good.
shop, only for Epic to accidentally
Still smells
bring it
good.
back, causing a huge controversy. If you
Yes,
had trouble
little boy,
getting to
you
level
need to eat
25
your
back in the
chicken,
day,
your
these
chicken,
would have helped you
chicken,
out.
chicken,
Everyone knows about the battle pass tiers hidden in loading screens, but a lot of people forget about XP coins. They were spread around the map, and you could be minding your own business before coming across a giant XP coin. Honestly, the feeling was amazing. They're almost as old as the OG submachine gun. This is such a classic weapon, and it sadly never returned, probably because it was terrible. But that still lasted longer than Fortnite's rarest item. The Eye of the Storm Tracker is a backpack that was only in game for 30 minutes. They accidentally added this, causing a few players to get their hands on it. They let you do the next storm phases with no effort, and Epic straight up panicked, removing this immediately. Now, you might think that Avengers was the first ever collab, and while that's not true, there was still an insane crossover in the same month BR released. Epic invited a ton of content creators to be added to the game, with exclusive banner icons for their logos, like Vanoss Gaming, Musel, and even PewDiePie. You could wear these banners in Battle Royale, making them the rarest and the first collab. An experience you didn't want to try is the swing set of death. In Greasy Grove, this swing was the only object with physics enabled. No other item could be pushed around like this, and for some reason, this freaked out the anti-cheat. Epic just assumed you were teleporting around, kicking, or even banning players for quote-unquote hacking.
Wait, what? I got banned. I just got banned.
Thankfully, they came back, unlike the forgotten currency of Fortnite. Long before gold existed, they collaborated with Borderlands, adding cash. You couldn't spend it like you can with gold, but it was still pretty cool for its time. Things get disturbing, though, when you head over to Sunny Steps, as this POI held a dark secret. You could find a llama being cooked and eaten alive, with its skeletal remains above a campfire. And back in 2018, we got the very first April Fools in Fortnite. They don't do this anymore, but to celebrate the occasion, Epic decided to prank players in the best way. Without telling anyone, they changed impulse
Already
grenades to have 10
go to
times
your
more
chicken.
power, causing people to
What do you
launch
mean?
themselves straight to their
You gotta eat your
deaths.
chicken.
Things got even worse, with Boogie Bombs receiving super jumps, so all the tryhards trying to get an easy kill were trolled. It wasn't the only time Epic pranked players. Over at Dusty Divot and Greasy Grove, we found ice cream trucks
100
that had
things
100,000
OG
health.
players
Kind of felt
remember.
like a glitch, but one of them was making chest noises, so we spent forever trying to break it. Once the van was finally gone, you either got a chest or nothing at all. Now you'll know about the OG tac shotgun, but you might not remember its hidden secret. This gun had a screen on the side that you couldn't view while in third person. It wasn't until
Go eat
people
your
saw the
chicken.
concept art or
That's
went
what
into
your food is there
replay
for.
mode that they realized it had a game of Snake
You
on the
can eat
side. Maybe it's just me, but I felt
You
like
just
we were
like to
all
do
obsessed with
everything but
Fortnite
eat your
China
chicken.
back in the day because of just
That's
how
all.
different it was. Thanks to the
That
strict
is
gaming laws,
your
it had no microtransactions,
problemo.
challenges to earn V-Bucks, and
It's your
exclusive
boy.
skins. Everyone went crazy over this, with updates always adding something unique, like the removal of Skull Trooper and Mystique's backbling turning into a ball. But sadly, it was shut down in 2021, but a feature that had to be removed was OG live events. One of the coolest parts about these is that they took place in real matches. You could genuinely be playing a regular game of VR only for a rocket to take off or cube to spawn. Nowadays, we have dedicated playlists with immunity, but back then, it caused a disaster, with a world record for solo eliminations being broken by a griefer. As for the most forgotten collab in history, we have the Kingsman umbrella. Got added with basically no announcement. They didn't make a trailer or anything, people just logged in and found a crossover item. It could be used for gliding, attacking, and blocking, which made it super unique, but it was mysteriously never seen again. Epic also quietly shut down a tournament. Friday Fortnite was a huge fan-created competition that kickstarted the careers of people like Tfue and Mongrel. At one point, the tournament was pulling more viewers than The Walking Dead and existed long before official competitions like FNCS. Like I said, sadly, Epic shut it down. Thankfully though, they kept a glitch in the game that is still around to this day. Rocket riding was actually never intended. This was discovered by total accident, yet players loved it. The response was so positive that Epic was basically forced to keep it in. Now, in 2023, you can practically rocket ride anything, from battle bus rockets to the Cybertron cannon. And that's not even the weirdest item. There was once a random mythic that no one remembers. In the Impossible Escape LTM, you could find the Raptor Claw. Sounds like a weapon, right? No, it was a useless quest item that you had to deliver to an NPC. Because of how meaningless this is, most players never even knew it existed. Just like they don't know about Fortnite on a disc. As a free game, you wouldn't expect this to be on store shelves, but for the first couple of weeks, it was. There are people out there who seriously own Fortnite for Xbox One, and it sells on eBay now for thousands of dollars. Over in Season 8, you'll remember the Unvaulting event, but there was a whole build-up that brought the community together.
I use PayPal to buy this ticket. I'm paying it off over time. No fees, no interest.
You know what else has no interest? Me.
You can pay your own way.
Excuse me, sir?
Yeah.
The captain needs you back in the cockpit.
Oh, yeah, sir.
Puzzles appeared around the map asking us to emote or pickaxe runes with millions of health to move it. Eventually, this all led up to the unlocking of the vault. One of my personal favorite OG items is also a reference to Metal Gear Solid.
No, I remember that.
Randomly added in 2020, allowing us to hide inside a box and throw down for extra camouflage.
I remember
Not only
that.
was this a nod to Solid Snake's iconic tactic, but it was also a pretty decent strategy if you were a noob. For anyone still in the mood to prank players, you were actually able to harass your own teammates. For a massive chunk of the first season, team killing was enabled, and it was chaotic. People would wipe out their own squad either as a joke or, let's be honest, it was to steal their loot. That's because arguing over a rare item was way more deadly back then. Dying to that sucks, but it would be even worse with the Star Wand pickaxe. In Chapter 4, this is simply known as an item that sweats use, but it had a more sinister purpose in 2019 when people realized how destructive it was. The Star Wand, for no reason, was able to deal 56 damage. You could knock someone in only a few hits, or if you got lucky enough to headshot them, it could take players out in seconds. A feature that was completely forgotten was punch cards. These were really helpful in Chapter 2, helping us get a ton of XP simply for playing the game. Now they've been replaced with milestones, which are arguably super boring in comparison. But we did get a ton of excitement from Chapter 2's traps. A lot of these went under the radar, like the fire trap, which could burn down a build in seconds, or the poison dart that would literally shoot marshmallows on enemies. Still not as annoying as stretched res. Pro players found a way to edit their file settings and glitch the game to give them an advantage. Made every stream look warped, but they claimed people were easier to hit with a higher FOV. Whether that was true, we don't exactly know, but Epic was concerned enough to ban it anyway. Just like they were worried about the controversy surrounding police cars. In 2020, we had a lot of things happening around the world, and it caused Epic to move them into the vault. We haven't seen them since, but there were two different versions over the years that never got to be drivable. They've appeared in trailers like the Futurama collab, causing speculation that they would return, but I'm not holding my breath. Let's take it back to the first ever secret area in Fortnite. Near Tomato Town, there was a tunnel that cut through a cliff. It was totally normal looking, but if you broke the wall, it revealed a hidden area with chests and ammo boxes. Since this day, we have been keeping an eye out for more secret rooms. Speaking of records, the Icon series didn't actually begin with Ninja. It all started in the Season 3 Battle Pass. There was an emoticon that simply looks like a math equation until CDN the Third came across it.
No, they didn't.
Oh, no way.
No, they didn't. Open bracket, plus sign, close bracket. Let's go.
Wait, look what it says.
Positivity, have a phenomenal gaming experience. Let's go.
And if you don't know CDN the Third, let's just say he's the guy who exposed how OP pump shotguns used to be.
24, I'll take that crit. What's up, cousin? King, let's go!
Yeah, they can do max damage from across the map. I mean, this wasn't even a shotgun anymore, it was a sniper. One of the craziest facts is how the suppressed pistol and boogie bomb are older than tilted towers. Yeah, this wasn't always around, despite it feeling like it lasted all of chapter 1. Tilted was added in season 2, and before
said
that,
it's
the
older
area
than
was just a
Tilted
huge
Towers.
open plot of land. Wasn't the only thing missing
Wow,
back
man,
in the
you
day.
see me
if you
having
ran out
fun,
of
you run
materials,
over here, don't
wouldn't
you?
automatically switch to the next
Because
one.
good
So
energy
you can be
attracts
building
good
only to
energy.
die to fall
That's all.
damage out of nowhere. Some chapter 2
You're a good
players
boy.
will definitely miss side grading though.
I love
This
you.
is a pretty forgotten
You
feature
love
that
me?
only lasted a couple of seasons,
I'll go
but
with your
instead of
chicken then.
improving your weapon's rarity, you can swap your items out for a completely different one. People
Mira.
love this, and maybe it'll come back in the future just like
Mira.
OG Factories, the most famous
Mira.
classic drop spot of Fortnite. If you played in
Give me a hug,
2018,
little
you
boy.
know about this place.
A hug.
Was it on
Okay,
APOI?
hug.
Yet tons of people landed here, especially before Tilted. It was so popular, Epic even brought
Mm-hmm.
it back in Season X. Now you might have heard me mention this throughout the
love you.
video, but we gotta talk about the Season Shop. This was the
love you.
first version of the item shop, but with a catch. You had to level up just to unlock the cosmetics, and then you could pay for it with V-Bucks. Total mess, and every outfit was exclusive to the season it dropped in, so basically this was an early version of the Battle Pass, and thankfully, they changed it. Still not as chaotic as the Risky Reels Chest Challenge. For some reason, no one at Epic thought it was a bad idea to lock the first secret skin behind a ridiculous quest. You had to open 7 chests that risky, causing the whole lobby to land here and try to complete it. Borderline impossible, and Epic even referenced it years later in this legacy achievement. So at this point, you're probably an OG, that means you'll definitely remember Orange Justice. Let's be honest, most Chapter 1 players know about this. It was the dance of the year, and the story was incredible. The Orange Shirt Kid entered the Boogie Down contest, was thought to be the clear winner, only to be ignored by Epic. The outrage from the community was so big, they added it to the Battle Pass with the name Justice. Now, if you recall the Storm Chaser Surf and LTM from earlier, we got surfboards, but these weren't that exclusive. They were a reskin of the drift boards, a classic item that hasn't been in the game for years. People love these
Look,
things.
the
You can do
drift board,
insane
puppy.
tricks, boost around, climb mountains. We
See
wanted
it?
these back for so long, hope to get something similar with
He loves
skateboards,
Fortnite.
but those also never released. Another bad ending was
Look
the
at the
fate
way
of
he
the
looks at
block.
Fortnite game.
I'm not
Look, look,
talking
look.
about the one from Tilted Towers. I
You
mean
like
the
that?
original POI
like
that was
Fortnite?
in the game for quite some time. Every
at
week we got
Fortnite,
a
look.
new design made by the community, and it was incredible. Some map
You
makers
really-
even hit bonus looted secrets so you would drop at their location. But things went too far when one creator added a controversial scene in a basement, causing headlines to point it out and Fortnite to remove the place entirely. Maybe you might have known that, but there's some players who have never heard of the Golden Mushroom. It was one of the rarest items in Chapter 2 with a 1 in 10,000 chance of spawning. So if you were lucky enough to find it, you would earn 100 shield in a second. And there was a detail hidden in
Wow.
almost every OG skin out there, which no one really talks about. A tiny tradition that was even in Fortnite's logo, dog tags. People look back on this years later only to realize they're gone. We have no idea why, but now that I pointed it out, you'll never stop seeing it. Controversial, but also not. I just wish 100% chest spawns were still in the game. This was one of the best features in Chapter 2, allowing us to land at the same place every game and find chests in a guaranteed spot. POIs are more interesting and fun to land at, and nowadays you can land at your favorite place and have literally no loot. But back then, 100% chest spawn allowed us to create our own personalized drop spot that didn't rely on stupid RNG. Don't worry, I know I could not make a video on things OGs remember without bringing up double pump. It's a strat that dominated Fortnite's meta for months, and some people claim that its removal ruined everything. We'd love to see this back for a week, maybe even in a custom mode, because it was honestly fun. Being able to pump, then switch and fire again immediately, so satisfying. Then we have the most famous weapon of Chapter 1, which is only in the game for a couple of days. There's only a handful of real clips out there with the Zapatron, that's how rare it is. If you're lucky enough to genuinely use this, you deserve a medal. Since they removed it, Fortnite has teased its return countless times, only to never bring it back. So maybe next.
Secret Fortnite video.
Welcome to the Fortnite Simpson season.
I remember this. I got to play this. This was not too long
From the
ago. too.
entire battle pass, new mythics, a fully cel-shaded island, and all POIs, this is everything
I'm on
you
forward.
need to know. One of the first places
Well, they
you'll
took the
land
golf
at is
already,
the
Chad,
town
so
square.
forget about it.
Here you'll find so
I don't
many
think they
places
got
from the
this no
show,
more.
like Moe's Tavern, which looks exactly
got
like
this
you
one.
remember. And yeah, you can answer the phone to hear Bart prank calling you. The town square also has the quickie
I
mart.
didn't do
The
that.
detail in this place is insane, from the countless products to a working squishy machine that gives you a brand new item. But I'll show you what these do later in the video. You'll also find the huge courthouse in the square, and just like the show, it says liberty and justice for most. All of these places are ridiculously big. You you can explore this POI for hours and still not see everything, especially in
That's
the
a fact.
Aztec Theater, which has so many fake movie posters and secrets. That's along with the marquee that says mashup when brands collide. With a new season comes new bosses, and the first is Witch March.
Yeah, I'm taking a mark.
Once you've taken her out, you'll also get a fun cameo from a familiar friend.
Alright, there we go. You can have the
After she's defeated, Marge will drop a mythic, compact, enhanced SMG. Now, one of my favorite POIs on the island is Burns Manor, which you can spot from miles away. This place has so many rooms from the show, from Mr. Burns' bedroom to his dining room and even the giant TV wall. There's also the iconic garden, vehicles parked out front, and some of the creepiest statues of Mr. Burns I've ever seen. But what you'll also notice are these strange purple boxes. These are brand new chests called Mr. Burns' Mystery Boxes, which has all kinds of great loot, and it's a reference to this scene from the show.
You can either have the washer and dryer where the lovely Smithers is standing, or you can trade it all in for what's in this box.
Oh, the box,
Keep
the
an
box.
eye out for one of the coolest bosses that
I
also
would've
drops a
took the
mythic,
washing machine.
because there's a chance you'll spot Krusty the Clown walking around the Krusty
Ooh,
Burger.
Krusty.
And you'll notice he's even holding this creepy balloon. Well, that's a reference to the boss fight from the Simpsons arcade game in 1991. If you want this balloon for yourself, you can fight him to the death and get a secret exotic weapon for your troubles. It is Krusty's Mr. Blasty.
Oh,
It's not
shit.
based on anything from the show, but the name is a reference
What
to
happened,
Homer
boy?
saying this.
There's one
Oh.
missing.
Not Mr. Blasty.
So the gun shoots those creepy balloons at people, which means you could fire it at an enemy and they'll be taken into the sky, making it very easy to hit them. But did you know you could also shoot it on yourself if you want the balloon, and
up your
it
mind.
gives a shockwave effect? Now, would it be an iconic Simpsons season if they didn't give us some of the most famous snacks from the show? The first is the Krusty Burger item, which restores health and shield over time. There's also the Super Squishy that gives you a slap boost for extra stamina. And then we have the Blinky Flopper, which works just like a Slurpfish, and Chug Splashes have been redesigned to look like the Duff logo. One of the first things you'll notice on this map are the giant chimney stacks
You wanna
coming
keep
from the
going or not?
Springfield Power Plant. They have finally
I
brought
need you
this to
to.
the game after 6
Legend.
years of teasers, when Steamy Stacks in Chapter 2 first had an Easter egg to Homer Simpson. And just like Steamy Stacks, you'll find this in the top right of the island. And I know what you're thinking, yes, the chimneys also work just like you would expect, letting you glide out of there the same way you could in Chapter 2. Over at another important POI, we have Mayor's Munchies, and from the name, you could probably guess what's here. This is the location of the Springfield Town Hall, along with a small home goods store, some other generic buildings, and a Der Burger restaurant. As you can see from the sign, the town meeting was canceled due to a lack of griping. Just outside of Mayor's Munchies, you could find the 33-cent store from season 10 of the show. Or you can check out this house right next to it, and you'll realize this is actually Principal Skinner's home. Go inside, and you'll find steamed hams that you could actually pick up and eat. You can either enjoy it here, or take one to go. And while there isn't an outfit for Skinner, this season's Battle Pass is insane. On page 1, your very first reward is actually not a skin at all. It's a brand new type of item called a sidekick. These are the pets that have been
Oh,
leaked for
sidekick.
so long, and as you might have spotted throughout this video, these little guys will follow you around. They
I
can
want one.
emote, high-five you, but can't be seen by enemy players, so don't worry about revealing your location or them just being straight up pay to lose. As for the rest of the page 1 items, you can earn the Marge Simpson outfit along with an emote for her car. As you
I
can
didn't get none
probably
of that.
tell from the earlier boss battle, her edit style is based on her witch costume from Treehouse of Horror. But on this page, you might also notice a certain someone in a shopping cart. That's right, Maggie Simpson is included in the Battle Pass, and she's a part of this glider. I'll say people were not expecting to see her in the game at all. Next up, you can get the Blinky Fish Stick outfit, followed by Ned Flanders on page 5. He has so many cool items, like a mustache glider, a left-handed emergency box, but my personal favorite is the stupid sexy Flanders skin.
Feels like I'm wearing nothing at all.
Like, take a look at the emo. This dude is double cheeked up. The final skin in the pass is, of course, Homer Simpson. He has his electric hammer pickaxe and a donut back bling, but did you know, every time you get an elim, it gets a bite taken out of it. But in the bonus rewards, you'll also be able to get the evil Homer style.
I am evil Homer. I am evil Homer.
And before I get to the secret outfit, use code T5G if you buy the Battle Pass, and I'll try to find people who used it and play with them in the new season. So, what's the secret outfit? Well, it's Springfielder Peely, who'll be available later in the season. And while you may think we're only getting sidekicks like Peels, there are so many more on the way. First, we have Bonesy, who will be given out for free to everyone who has the back bling, or Doggo Jr. Personally, I love Cuddle Team Jr. and Flopsticks. They are straight up adorable, and every single sidekick gets a ton of customization options. The catch is, once you've applied them, it's permanent. You may have also noticed there's an upcoming Doberman pet, and these are way more important to the Simpsons season than you might think. That's because you could actually find Doberman NPCs around the map that fight you on sight, just like henchmen from previous chapters. This is all one big reference to...
Release the hounds.
Now, if you put the Simpsons map side by side with the original, you'll see it's way smaller than what we're used to. So because of this, Fortnite has officially changed the player count from 100 to just 80 per match. And trust me, the pacing feels incredible. So everyone's been seeing the Simpsons season and is terrified that the loot pool is gonna suck. The biggest problem with the Star Wars season was how they replaced everyone's weapons, and now Epic learned their lesson. So with the Simpsons season, it's a super basic loot pool with OG tac shotguns, infantry rifles, striker ARs, and so much more. In fact, there's not many Simpsons exclusive items right now, with most of them hidden behind bosses or secret POIs, like one you could get for decapitating a statue. That's right, go to the middle of Springfield Town Square and you can shoot Jebediah's head off and it'll drop a secret mythic item. It's called Jebediah's Protective Helm, and it's the first ever helmet in Fortnite which lets you put it on and avoid headshot damage. But there is a catch, because just like medallions, running around with this thing will tell everyone in the lobby where you are. In fact, the new battle bus actually hints at this. You'll notice that the hot air balloon has been turned into the Duff blimp from the show, and it actually has a different message every single game. From just one more match to how many characters do you think we could fit on this scrolling screen, and then the hint, please do not decapitate the statue. The coolest part is when you thank the bus driver, you'll actually thank Otto from the show. And it's not just the bus that is themed around the Simpsons, because Starter Island has also been completely redesigned. My favorite room in here is this arcade full of Easter eggs, so leave a comment if you recognize these. Now, I've shown you the Battle Pass, but that's not all, because this season will also let you play as characters like Bart Simpson. He's coming to the item shop, and you can find his NPC at the Birdie Mart POI. Talk to him to buy rifts, meds, and help with your XP quests. Of course, you'll also be able to play as Krusty later down the line, along with some fan favorites like Lisa, Mo, and Scratchy, who you can spot in this season's official artwork. Heading back in game, one of the coolest changes has to be what Fortnite's done to forecast towers. Now, when you head to one of these, you'll notice that they are KBBL radio station POIs, and you can transmit a broadcast to learn what the next storm circle is. You should also keep an eye out for some of the most iconic locations in the show, like the Tire Fire, Camp Krusty, Cletus's Cornhole, and of course, Evergreen Terrace. There is so much to find this season, and if I gotta throw in one teaser you should look out for, I recommend shooting a donut sign. When I was at Epic Games HQ, I heard everyone talking about if you shoot it, something happens, but that is for you to find. I still can't believe that Epic allowed me to come to their HQ and play this season early, so thank you so much to them. That is everything new in Fortnite Simpsons season. I'll see you guys there. And if you're watching this on day one, don't forget the live event is happening tomorrow, so make sure to show up for it. It has been Tommy, and keep it...
We are definitely not watching this on day one. We totally missed the boat, and or should I say the battle bus. And what else can I say? Let's see if there's something more recent. You know, top 5 gaming. It don't gotta be about. It just gotta be about Fortnite.
I wanted to give something to the fans that they didn't expect. We're gonna do everything in our power.
We are officially in Chapter 7 of Fortnite. New map, new bosses, mythics, and so much more. Let's go see everything new in Chapter 7. You know what time it is. We've got to get the Battle Pass. using my favorite creator code, Tomato.
Please use code TOMATO if you're buying the Battle Pass.
And yes, I will show off the entire Battle Pass later in the video, so stay tuned for that. We have so much new stuff, it's not even funny. I know it's a new chapter, so we expect a lot of stuff, but
holy moly, there's so much.
First off, the UI is completely different. We'll go over it in a little bit, but we've got more important things to do, such as riding a tsunami. Yeah, you heard me correctly. We have to shred onto the island. I don't even know how this works. I've planned my landing, but I don't know how to get there. So in the trailer, the battle bus was obliterated. It'll eventually be coming back, but for now, we have to ride in, and I don't really know how it works at all.
Go left, go right.
How do I launch? Oh, I have to go up the way. I'm so confused. I see. So that's how you drop until the battle bus is repaired. What the heck is this location?
I had the
This
same
is
problem
Monkey
too.
Land, and it's
I
literally
streamed
a
all of
amusement
that.
park. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, I think 12 or 13 brand new locations. I'm going to try to show them all, but it's going to be tough to fit this into one video. We've got a bunch of different bosses this season, and the way they work are completely different. You now become the boss, which is going to be huge for the type of videos that I make. I believe there's 6 brand new weapons at the start, including the dual micro SMGs. Wait, are these new?
Nope.
I don't think these are new.
Those
But
are
we
new.
have them. These are
Those
new.
are
We've got
new.
the twin hammer shotguns. So these are basically the hammer pumps, shorter, but 2 of them. That's going to be
Yeah,
probably
the
pretty
twin.
good.
No,
Not as
that's
good
actually good.
as the other shotgun, though. We'll try to find that in a bit. This is a wingsuit. This is one of the cool new movement items this season. By the way, I need water. Hold on a second.
Me too.
All right, we're chilling. All right, before we do the whole wingsuit thing, let's look at the UI a little bit. Obviously, the whole weapons are a bit different. I really like the look of this. The names of your party are now down in the bottom left. Your sprint is now in the middle of your screen. Your health and shield look a little bit different. Your eliminations on the map are a bit different. Vader, where'd you get that giant thing? Holy moly. This, okay, hold on. This is the arc lightning gun. Oh yeah, that, grenade! So we've got regular grenades back, but they look different. I like the new reskin a lot. This lightning thing looks incredibly overpowered. I don't know how much damage it does. Doesn't even say how much damage it does. I don't know if this is going to be the meta or not, but at the very least, it looks incredibly cool. We've also got a brand new sniper rifle in the game, the Vengeful Sniper Rifle. Kind of reminds me of the Reaper. In fact, I think it's just a reskin
if I
of
was
it.
talking about
But
chicken,
either way, it's good to have snipers back in the game.
or
I love
outside,
snipers. All right, let's try out this
you would
wingsuit
say.
thing. So if we launch,
I'm talking about my mints.
if we
You don't
launch
care.
it, we go up in the air. Oh my golly. It extends your skin. That can't be feel comfortable. But then it's kind of like a launch pad, and then you can land. It's only got a 20-second cooldown, and you've got 10 uses of it. Also, they don't seem very hard to
Yeah, that's
find,
been
so
my
this is
lightsaber
definitely going to be
right
the
now.
meta this season. Your movement is going to be
That
bonkers
and
with
the
this.
sword.
Also, another thing about the UI, I really like the whole red thing when you don't have any ammo. I like that a lot. Let's check out the, oh, new weapon. Ugh. This is the brand new AR, the Deadeye Assault Rifle. I think this is going to be the best weapon this season. It's basically a regular AR, but they've added a scope. I have a feeling that's going to be
Yeah, that's
disgustingly
fire.
good. This is a
That's
hot air
fire.
balloon. It has a lot of health. Its main purpose is not to be shot down, but rather to take you around the map. It's kind of like another movement option you have. Let me see if I can get on top of there via the wingsuit. Let me in. Yes. It's got some thingies on it, some chests.
Oh,
Actually,
shit, I
have
didn't
decent
know
stuff. Dynamite's back in the game, but basically this is just gonna take you
I
around the
hate
map.
that stupid bazooka.
And every once in a while,
And
it'll
I
land
smoke
at a
anybody with it,
location
too.
and drop you off.
Please
Pretty cool.
do. Grab
Probably
the
there's so much
fucking
stuff, it's
bazooka when
crazy.
you
I'm
play
like
with
so
me, bro.
overwhelmed and so happy at the
Smoke
same
you
time.
with a fucking.
I'm thinking this is gonna be really good. I obviously haven't played a real
AR.
game yet, but so far I like the look of
And I
everything.
got a couple of
Bounty
kills
boards
with that
seem to
one
be
already,
back.
so.
Let's see what they have. Oh, this is just a supply
Check out
drop.
my
Boring.
video.
I mean, it's fine. Supply drops are cool. We got a bunch of brand new NPCs. Let's go check out some of them. I believe the Foundation is one of them. I'm not 100% sure if he's an NPC yet, or if it's coming later in the season, but that basically
Bro, this shit
confirms
just makes
the
me
Seven's
want to
return.
play.
I mean,
Like,
we
I
all
just
pretty
want
much
to
knew
play
that
right
was
now.
coming. But it's still pretty cool. There's a ton of changes to rebooting and stuff like that. Obviously, this has wheels.
You could
This is
ride
a
the
drivable
fucking
reboot
reboot,
van.
bro. Yeah.
Yes, it's awesome. I
You
love
could
the sound
fucking
of the
bounce
honk.
with that shit.
So now, if Vader was down, for example, I could chuck him in the back of my reboot van, and it will literally reboot him as I drive away, so you don't have to sit there and hold E. It's pretty awesome. There
That's
are regular reboot
so
vans as well
fire.
this season, but occasionally you'll find this one.
That's so
I really,
fire.
really like
I
that
didn't
idea.
even
I
know
think
that.
that's super fun.
That is
there's
super
a lot of
amazing.
ways to, actually, in fact, there's a lot of ways to come back this season, because there's also a self-revive.
Yup, the
I believe
jumping.
some of the bosses
You
drop
open
this,
the
which we're gonna
jumping.
find in a little bit, so
Yeah, I got one.
stay
I
tuned.
get
But
those.
basically, if you get knocked,
What was that?
don't do that. If you get knocked and you have a self-revive, you can just pick yourself up. It's pretty awesome.
Self-revive
Also,
is
if
so
you are
fire.
knocked, you can roll around. Like, you can basically do a dodge roll while you're down, so you can't get eliminated as easily.
What you mean?
This was,
What you
It'll
mean?
Loop
What you
Labs,
mean?
by
What
the
you
way.
mean? What you mean?
Dodge roll while... Also, if you are knocked, you can roll around. Like, you can basically do a dodge roll while you're down, so you can't get eliminated as easily. All right, this was It'll Loop Labs, by the way. Pretty decent location,
You
nothing
could've told
special.
us.
Vader, can you please stop making the wee woo sound effect? Golf carts are back, by the way. Nice. This is a regular reboot van that is undrivable, as you can see by the whole wheel lock things. This is Humble Hills, looks pretty chill. I believe there's an NPC here. Ah, new shotgun. Okay, so this is the Iron Pump shotgun. Its stats are nasty. The mythic version of this does 116 damage to the body and 210 to the head. That's bonkers. Works like your average pump shotgun. I like it. There's also some new sound effects when you get an elimination and a headshot and stuff like that.
Ven a Verizon hoy con tu factura de T-Mobile o AT&T y te damos una mejor oferta.
A new emote wheel. Let's unfortunately test it on this NPC. Oh yeah. That's satisfying. That's extremely satisfying. What do we got, Vader? Self-revive. Thank you very much. Boss on the map alert. Ooh, this is not a boss. It's a portal.
The sword.
Acquire the Forsaken Valve Blade. What the heck is this? I didn't even know this was a thing. This is like the lightsaber portal, but instead, it's a sword. Who are... Hi. Song of Steel. Okay. Okay. So this is like a reskin of the kinetic blade, but bigger and cooler. I quite like this. It also dropped some NPCs for us, I guess, to try out the blade. Pretty cool. I like it. I have a fun idea. Let's do a little bit of eliminating myself. Now, you may be wondering, Tomato, why the heck would you do that?
Well, I've got a self-revive. I want to try it out.
My building are completely... What? The buildings are...
Yeah, that
My
should happen.
binds
in
are
this
all
game.
broken. How do I build anymore? I don't know how to build. I genuinely have no clue how to build. Ew, I don't like this at all. All right, I don't know how this works, but I guess we'll figure it out some other day. By the way, I'm pretty sure I already mentioned this, but if you want to see the whole battle pass, stay tuned. I'll do it at the end. That hurt. But it's fine. Because I've got a self-revive kit. This is going to be super handy for when Vader just drives away from me. Takes 10 seconds, but I'm back. Pretty sick. So I'm pretty sure these flags on the map are where the hot air balloon comes to pick you up. I don't think they're capture... Oh, another self-revive. Also, what is a bus part? I'm sure that's a quest to get the battle bus back. That's pretty cool. Ugh! What? Wait, I thought... Okay, so if you're on a hill, you could roll down it. That is so goofy. I love it. But if you're on flat ground, you could dodge roll like this. That is actually sick. That is so goofy. It's so funny. Okay, so in our next game, we actually have to find some of the bosses. I haven't found a single one yet. And the way that bosses work are wild. This is your second reminder to head over to the shop. And down here where it says support a creator, if you want to support me, this is the best way to do it. Well, also liking and subscribing is also really good. So keep doing that. But also do this if you want. I'll show the bundle later, I promise. So the map is overall based on like the West Coast, and this is like a more deserty part of it. Let's check it out. This is like Area 51, basically. I'm not 1,000% sure if the bosses this season are like a random spawn or if they spawn in a set place. I'm sure we'll find out in a bit. Oh, Vader said there's a boss. I would like to eliminate them. The only thing I don't like about this season is that every time I'm driving the ambulance battle bus and I hit shift, it does the wee woo. That is the most annoying thing ever. So I'm not sure how many bosses exactly there are, but there's one that drops a mythic Deadeye assault rifle, one that drops a twin hammer shotgun, one that drops the arc lightning, one that drops an iron pump shotgun, and one that drops a hollow rush SMG. So basically there's a lot of bosses. And eventually we're going to get a foundation in mythic. I'm not sure if there's going to be a foundation boss later on. We'll find out. But they appear on the map when you get close to them. Let's take them out, shall we? Okay, this lightning thing looks really good. And you could use it for like 6 hours. Oh, I love the new damage effect thing. All right, Hush is down, and Hush drops the Deadeye AR. And here's the really cool thing about this season. You can transform into the bosses and play as them. The only L is that your location will be exposed for the entire game, so it's kind of like a medallion where people will see you. But there's some benefits, too. Ugh. You get an extra 25 shield and 25 health, and you also get 0-point dashes. Wait, how? How do I do that? What did I just do? I spawned an IO guard. Wait, that's actually sick. Or a henchman, whatever they're called. That's awesome. That is an 80-second cooldown. Oh, and then that's what gives me a 0 point dash. Nice. You're easy to see, but overall, I really like that mechanic. I think it's a lot of fun. I don't know if it's going to be, like, good if you're trying to play competitively, but who cares? I mean, I'm sure a lot of people care, but I don't. So, like I said, I'm not 1,000% sure which bosses land. I know that there's a Brutus boss somewhere. I don't know if they're different each game, but that's something we'll find out a little bit throughout the season. Other than that, is that it?
Nope.
We're supposed to be getting a South Park Mythic, but that's later in the game, like later this season. There's an upcoming medallion that will give you a 6th inventory slot, so that sounds really cool, but not in the game yet. What else? Oh, later on this season, we're also getting a gulag mechanic, kind of like the thing from Call of Duty, where if you die, you could get revived, like, by doing, like, mini-games, by fighting another player, like rock, paper, scissors, they said, which sounds crazy. But yeah, Fortnite is going crazy on, respawning. Ooh, Hollow Rush SMG. Oh, wait, there's a couple more new weapons. Such as this one. I actually think that's the only one I missed. How are you feeling about Chapter 7? Let me know down in the comments below. So far, I haven't played a game yet, but I'm really liking this direction. I think this might be a bit of a return to form for Fortnite, and I can't wait to play more. Subscribe for more videos. I'll be doing a myth video tomorrow. I know everyone loves to see those. Leave a like. Oh, I forgot to show you the battle pass. Oops, hold on. The first skin is the bride from Kill Bill. The second skin is also the bride from Kill Bill, but different. Then we've got Cat Holloway. Kingston, aka a lion. Meowscles is probably so sad right now. Carter Wu, Karina, Marty McFly, Miles Cross,
And the Dark Voyager Reality Redacted. And this version, I don't even know what that means.
This was actually pretty cool. If you're interested in the Battle Pass, or even if you're not interested in the Battle Pass, I already said this like 10 times, I'm sorry, but you gotta go to the shop and type in code tomato. Let me know what you think of everything down below, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Oh, there you go, chat.
Ever get a...
There you go, chat. So we're going to be signing off now, chat. I will see you guys at 8 p.m. That will be in 2 hours for an episode. But I will be playing PlayStation as of the next couple of moments. So I will be gaming now. So if you're into the gaming, guys, stick around. If you don't like watching other people play PlayStation, you don't like watching grown people play PlayStation, this is your moment to go. I'll see you guys at 8 o'clock. For the most part, everybody who's a gamer, stick around. I'm going to log off, but I will be logging back on for the PlayStation gaming. So we're going to be doing some Fortnite because this just got me so super hype. And right now, all I need is a bathroom break, and we are going to be back on. So, guys, I'll see you in a moment. This is the Chi Challenge with your boy Chi from the Chi Challenge, a.k.a. King Buddha. So, you already know, guys. I'll see you in a few.